All right, guys, we got a little bit of a dump. I'd say a big old fat juicy dump. Let's talk about that. Let's see what's going on. We're still in that range. We're still in that range, but it looks like, we've been talking about on this channel, which will probably lead us into the crypto bear market. Will probably be a recession. We're due for a recession. Stocks can't go up forever. We're due for a major crash. We're due for a real estate crash. It's going to happen. And I've always thought it's probably not going to happen until after the elections because there's no way the Biden administration is going to let us be in a recession before the elections. But you're starting to see the cracks. You're starting to see the cracks in the economy. So the jobs numbers came out yesterday. Job report triggers key recession warning. So because of the jobs report looking a little weak, we're starting to, major people in the markets are starting to say, hey, wait, things aren't looking as peachy as we thought, and we could be heading into a recession. Now, this is the very early signs have gone into a recession, very early, but people are just starting to see the hints of it. It's kind of like you have a big dam and you're starting to see little leaks in that dam, and people are like, oh shit, this is only going to get worse. And I think that's what led to this sell-off, which the Dow was down 800 points yesterday, closed 600. People are saying this is correction territory. So people are scared right now. And what happens when people are scared? They dump everything. They dump all their altcoins. They're even dumping Bitcoin, although Bitcoin is still in that range, but they're dumping everything risky. Nvidia stock is down like 20, 30%, like everything. Everybody's just getting out of everything. And that's kind of what happens. So basically, this is what happens with markets, guys. People see the warning signs. They see a little bit of fear. They see the dam cracking. They don't stop to think about it because people are very emotional. They don't stop and say, oh, what's going to happen? They just basically sell everything. Throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's what they're doing. And when you throw the baby out with the bathwater, then you come back in a couple of days and you say, oh, wait, maybe we overreacted. And then you start coming back in. So what I think is going to happen is, I don't think we're going into a recession yet. I do think we're going to go into a recession probably within the next 6 months. Some people think we're already in a recession, which is very possible. At least the early stages of a recession. And like I said, people are just getting out of everything. Major sell-off yesterday. That's kind of what took Bitcoin down. And I think Monday or Tuesday, what I think is going to happen is the markets are going to recover a little bit and we're going to stabilize. So let's hear what Rand made some good points. He kind of sums it up a little bit. Let's take a little listening.
And now for the first time, as you can see, we broke down below this trend line. If you look at some of the biggest stocks in the Nasdaq, I mean, this is Nvidia. Nvidia, one of the biggest companies in the world, if not the biggest company in the world, down 26% in the last 30 days. You've also got Intel. I mean, just look at Intel. Intel is down 45% in the last 30 days or so, or this year. And specifically, Intel is back down at prices that it was in 2016. I read this from Genevieve, who says, good morning, everyone. It's tough out there. Amazon down 8% after missing earnings. Intel drops 20%. Snapchat down 30%. Magnificent Seven swung $3 trillion in market cap in the last 3 weeks. The VIX is up 20% this week. Investors are worried that the Fed has been too slow again on rate cuts. You got Go Gavin says Intel shares are now down 27% today. This is the worst day for Intel since 1982. Another one here. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is now down over 1,500 points since Wednesday. So big move. The S&P is down 3.5%. Then you got Ben Cowan, who says that the SPX, which is the S&P 500, is now exactly on its bull market support band. So that is where we are. So you can see the S&P 500 there. You can also see that in the East, it's just as bad. You got the Nikkei down 20.
So there's a little bit of that. And this is what I've been talking about on this channel basically for the last year. We said there's two things that can destroy this crypto bull market. One, war. Two, going into recession. War, whatever, but recession is inevitable. We're going to get it. Stock market crazy for the last couple years. It had to crash. And like I said, I think people right now are just starting to see, wait, the stock market is not as strong as we thought. So like I said, I don't think we're going to go into full-blown panic mode yet. I think things are going to come back. I still have hope. I'm not like, oh my God, we're going to zero. But it's kind of sad that people are starting to see it, and we didn't hit the top of the Bitcoin market before people are starting to see it. So it is possible that this does delay things in the market. I personally think we're going to come back next week, and I think we're not going to hit that recession probably till next year after the election, but anything can happen. A lot of big-time investors right now are talking about pretty much we're in a recession or going into a recession. Here's a little bit more.
0.1% unemployment, and they got a 4.3% unemployment. So what? So why is everyone panicking? Why are the markets all of a sudden panicking? That's the big question. And the answer to that big question is because that move in unemployment triggered what is known as the SARM rule. And the SARM rule is designed to signal the start of a recession that has officially been triggered. Now,
so there you go. Basically, because of the unemployment numbers, it triggered something that big-time investors are looking at saying, wait, this is the sign that we're probably going to be going into a recession. So basically, that's kind of it, summing it up, guys. I mean, it is what it is. We got a lot of fear in the market right now. There's really not much we can do about it. Like I said, I think things are going to come back. It does look like Bitcoin might go under $60,000. $58,000 I think is in the card. I think this is a great buying opportunity. Even if worst case scenario we go into a recession and like Bitcoin goes back to $40,000 or something like that for the next year or two, we're going to eventually come back, and it just delays things. But like I said, I think this is one of those throw the baby out with the bathwater type moments. People are scared. Oh my God, economy might not be as strong as we think it is. Let's just sell everything. And then what usually happens is people wisen up and they come back in. They say, wait, why do we sell everything just because some job numbers were low? We got to start buying back in. And that's what I think is going to happen. We'll have to monitor the situation. But yeah, the altcoins are getting pummeled. Bitcoin's getting pummeled. Risk assets are getting pummeled. And right now, Bitcoin and crypto and altcoins are at the mercy of what happens in the traditional markets. Because everything's dumping and Bitcoin's going to be dumping with the traditional market. So really all we have to do right now is just wait until Monday and see what happens. Do we get a bounce on Monday or do we dump further? I really have no idea, to be honest with you. I mean, if the markets continue to dump further, Bitcoin's going to continue to dump. But never in history have we gone into a full-blown recession right before an election. Biden's not going to let that happen. I think we still have another 6 months, at least till after the elections, before anything crazy happens. And I think this is going to be a short-term thing. So that's where we are right now. It kind of sucks. It's a buying opportunity. Look, I'm looking to buy some more altcoins. I'm really looking to buy some more Cardano at these prices. Might even buy some more XRP because XRP is under 60 cents now. And as soon as things turn around, everything's going to come back again. But if you're real emotional right now and you're taking this as like a big deal and you're like freaking out over it, just calm the fuck down, guys. Like, this stuff happens. If you lived through COVID, that scare where everybody thought it was going to be the end of the world, you lived through Mt. Gox, you lived through FTX crashing, Terra Lunar, UST, this is nothing. This is simply people seeing cracks in the stock market. The unemployment was not was higher than people expected. That's all we are. That's the only thing happened. But everything else is bullish. Everything else crypto related is bullish. Everything's looking great. So I do believe this will blow over. But like I said, I do believe we are due for a recession. I do believe by this time next year, we're going to be in one of the biggest stock market crashes, biggest pullback, biggest real estate crashes of my lifetime. I think it's going to be hell. And I don't think it's going to happen until after the election. Now, on a positive note, if it does happen before the election and we do go into full-blown recession next week, well, that pretty much means Biden, Kamala Harris are not winning this election because never in history has a president won an election in a recession. So, I try to see the positives, but I do think we're going to bounce out of this next week. But we'll see what happens. I'm still overly bullish. I'm looking to buy, like I said, worst case scenario. Worst case, like, oh my God, it's the worst thing in the world. We go into a recession for a year and Bitcoin sucks for a year and then we come back. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think it's going to happen. Like I said, I think we're coming back next week. I'm just saying worst case scenario. It's not like Bitcoin's going to zero, Cardano's going to zero, XRP's going to zero. They might drop another 30 or 40% if we go into a recession. But if you hold it, we're going to eventually come back. And that's the way I see it. Right now, I see buying opportunity. And I'm gonna make a bet right now. I think Monday or Tuesday we have a nice fat bounce back in the markets. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Talk to you later.